Yes, broken student. Overall, I hope you are all fine. And we come to the important topic of our discussion. The suppose we create an object like this. Okay. So if you have some water in a container like this, then you are collecting that here, water here. That's by immersing an object into liquid. The help of a right. We have to find like this. And then just yesterday we have discussed. Okay, what is that? Relative density and the air pressure. So yesterday we have already discussed the two topics. What are those? So those are nothing but the atmospheric pressure. Atmospheric pressure. Okay, and then regarding the Barnum. Okay, so atmospheric pressure on any surface generally. So how much it is? It is nothing but equal to 10 power 5 Pascal, or we have to equal to 1 atmosphere will say. Otherwise, 76 centimeters of mercury. So among all these, anything is correct only. But generally, 10 power 5 Pascal equal to 1 atmosphere. And in terms of mercury, if you have the effect, it is nothing but 76 centimeters of mercury. Okay. Okay, students. So this is our topic, right? So now we have the next topic, that is if an object is immersed into water. Okay, if an object is immersed. Right. So by this we can say that, okay, measuring the loss by an object. Okay, an object when immersed into water. Immersed into water. So this is our topic today, right? So already we have discussed that. Okay, when you step into some water body like swimming pool or some other lake, river, well, pond, etc. So you feel little as if your weight has reduced. Okay, you will feel as if your weight has reduced. So that is the common case in any object. That means in the case of any object you consider also, the same thing will happen. So that means if you are tying this some object to a spring balance and take the initial weight, okay, initial weight. So it is coming some value, some x gram. Suppose, so after immersing, okay, weight after immersion. So weight of that object, weight of object after immersion into water. Okay, immersion into water. So let it be, okay, this is x1, let it be x2 gram. Now, surely you will come to notice that x2 is less than x1. So what is the reason? What is the reason means here? Lot, you know very well that, okay. So when an object is immersed into any liquid, not only water, when an object is immersed into any liquid, what happens is the object will experience an upward force. An object, that means the particular object will experience a what force? That is upward force. Just you can also try it by taking an empty bottle and you just try to dip it into water. Okay, into water. So here, as water is available, we are taking the example of water. The same you can experience in any liquid. That could be oil or any other liquid, whatever the liquid. Okay. So when that object is immersed, so how much it is losing? So the weight which it is losing is equal to the amount of liquid displaced. So here we are taking what? What is this one? This is a collecting, okay, overflow jar we call it. Okay, overflow jar. So what is this? Overflow jar, right? So here this is the collecting vessel, okay. So here you will notice that the amount of loss here, some of the weight of the object is lost, okay. So whatever the weight is lost, okay, if you calculate, that means if you weigh the or if you measure the weight of this water which is displaced, you will find that the lost weight, that means the weight lost, okay, the weight lost by object after immersed in water equal to weight of water displaced. Right here, try to understand what I am saying carefully. So you took an object and you measured its empty weight, that means weight in air. Okay, you got some value, some x gram or x1 gram. Then you made that object the same with the help of this spring balance itself. You made that object to sink into water, a little portion, not completely, okay. Even if completely also no problem, the same thing. You will get some different value of weight of that particular object. So if you dip it into little portion, then what happens is some amount of water surely will overflow. Yes or no? Suppose just when you are dipping into, suppose if you have any tub-like thing, okay, tub-like thing full of water, okay, you want to take some water with some pot. When you try to dip it into that tub, what happens? Because of this volume of this pot, some water will overflow. Yes or no? Yes. Here also the same thing is happening. So that means if you collect that water, whatever that has overflown, and then if you try to weigh it, its weight, that means the weight, whatever the weight lost. Okay. Suppose you see, okay, let this be 100 gram. Let this be 100 gram. And after immersing, let this be the value is, okay, some 90 gram. Now, see the difference here. So 100 minus 100, 100 minus 90. So 100 minus 90, how much? It is 10 gram, no? So what is the last weight? So the weight lost by water is 10 gram. Yes or no? So if you weigh this, okay, this also we will try to come, or we will find that it is also equal to 10 gram. Okay, so that means finally what you are concluding, the weight lost by an object, okay, after immersed in water will be equal to weight of the water displaced. The weight of the water displaced means what? This water. Okay, so this water. So for what reason? So why it is losing weight? So why it is losing weight means it is due to a force that is pushing, this particular object because of the liquid only. So that force you call it as, okay, force. So this is upward force. You are calling it as upward force. So the same force you can call it as buoyancy force. Buoyancy force. Okay, force of buoyancy. So this is the new term to you. So when an object is immersed partially or completely into a fluid, into a liquid or fluid, you can say. What are fluids? Fluids means what? Which flow, or the substances which flow. Substances which flow. So which are the substances among solid, liquid and gases which can flow? It is nothing but liquids and gases. Okay, liquids and gases. So these are the things which will flow, and we call nothing but both liquids and gases are fluids. Both liquids and gases. Liquids and gases, because they are the substances among the three states of matter. These are the substances which can flow from one place to other place. So we call them combinedly as what? Fluids. So among these, again, so if you come to the case of liquid, liquid flows from more height to less height. Liquid flows from more height to less height. But gases flow from high pressure area to low pressure area. Gases flow from high pressure area to low pressure area. That's why, anyway, whatever, as they both can flow, we call them as fluids. So in this particular case, we are discussing about liquids now. Okay. So regarding the buoyancy force. Okay. Now, if you immerse any such object into, or if you dip any object into a particular fluid or particular liquid, what happens is it experiences a force. What is that force? That is actually the resultant of all the forces. Okay. The resultant of all the forces. You see here, suppose I will draw it here once again. So an object is immersed into a liquid, means, okay, so there will be many forces acting on it. So due to the, so these are all what? Forces. So all these forces sum up, okay, they sum up and they finally get multiplied into a single force. So that force is called as, okay, some liquid, okay. So that particular force is called as buoyancy force. Okay. What is that force? What you call that force? It is nothing but buoyancy force. Okay. Right. So based on this, we have one principle also. Based on this, we have a principle also. So this is the buoyancy force you are calling. So very important force. Okay. Now, once again, I'll tell one statement. You try to observe this. When an object is completely or partially immersed into a liquid, okay, the weight loss of the object is equal to the buoyancy force, is equal to the buoyancy force exerted on it. So, okay, right. So here I will try to mention it. You observe carefully. So we have one principle based on this particular concept. Okay, students, right? So I'll write the statement now. When an object is partially, so in this case I have drawn partially, in this case I have drawn completely immersed. Okay, partially or completely immersed into a liquid. Actually, this is fluid. You can write anything into a liquid. Okay. It experiences Okay. Its weight loss. Okay, right. It experiences an upward force called what force? Buoyancy force. How will you pronounce it? Buoyancy force. Buoyancy force. Okay, buoyancy force, which is okay. I'll stop at this. Okay, which is equal to the weight loss by the object in the liquid. So little bit maybe it is appearing as a lengthy statement. Okay, we'll divide this into parts and try to understand. Okay. Now you look here. Here an object is partially immersed in water or liquid, and here object is completely immersed in a liquid. So here whether the object is completely immersed or partially immersed, whatever the case, what happens? First thing is it experiences an upward force called as buoyancy force. Okay, so this is the first thing. So first point is it experiences a force. It experiences a force. Okay, so whenever you are dipping or whenever an object is immersed into a liquid, so what is the first thing that is happening? First thing, it experiences a force. Force in what direction? This is important. What is the direction? Force in upward direction. Force in upward direction. In this direction, the force is experienced. See, look here. Okay, the resultant of all this. That means as soon as the object is immersed into water, okay, due to the molecules here, due to the molecules here, due to the molecules, so it experiences actually the force in many directions, but all the forces get sum up. Sum up means what? Add up. Okay, they add up into one single resultant force, and that force, what are we calling? We are calling it as buoyancy force. Okay, so what is the direction of that buoyancy force? It is always perpendicularly up. It is always perpendicularly up. Up means, see here, what is the surface? See, if this is the surface, then perpendicularly up means like this only, no? So perpendicularly up to the surface of the particular object. Suppose if this is the, okay, right. So I am drawing here this one again. So if this is the surface of the object, then this is perpendicularly up, no? Okay. So it is always acting perpendicularly up to the surface of the object. See, this is the surface of the object, and then this is perpendicularly up. Yes or no? Perpendicularly down, perpendicularly up. Okay, right. So be careful. So try to understand what I am saying. Okay, ma? Right. So first and foremost thing, what happens when an object is dipped into a liquid? Okay, when an object is dipped into a liquid, first thing what happens is that object experiences a force. So that force is in which direction? Okay, force in perpendicularly upward direction. Upward, because force is a vector, now we have to mention the direction also. Okay, upward direction. Okay, perpendicularly upward direction. So to whom? To the surface of the bottom surface, because surface means upper surface also will be there. So bottom surface of the object, okay. So this is clear. Now once again try to analyze. So object is dipped into a liquid, Now this is the object, this is the bottom surface, this is the upper surface. Okay, so this is the upper surface. Okay, this is the upper surface, this is the bottom surface. Now to the bottom surface, the force that is experienced by the object, okay, when it is dipped, okay, to the bottom surface, the force is perpendicularly upward direction, okay, to the bottom surface. In which direction the force is acting? It is acting upward to the bottom surface of the object, upward to the bottom. So again, this is what is force? This is the resultant of all the forces that are present around it. That means due to the molecules that are present around the object. Okay, due to the molecules that are present around the object. Okay, the forces are getting summed up. The forces are getting added up, and then into one single resultant force. That force, what are you calling it? Buoyancy force. This is nothing but the buoyancy force. So how much it is? How much is that force? It is equal to that force we are calling it as what? Buoyancy force. So that force you are calling it as buoyancy force. So that is equal to how much? It is equal to the weight loss, equal to the weight loss by the object in liquid. So these are the four concepts we can divide this statement into. Okay, ma? Are you trying to understand? Okay, try to understand. So first thing, what? Wherever, whenever, anywhere in the universe, not only on the earth, I am saying, if you go anywhere into the universe, if there is a liquid, okay, you immerse something into a liquid, whether it is partially immersed or completely immersed. Okay, so what is happening? So for the basic information, we did this experiment to understand. That means when an object is immersed partially or completely into a liquid, some amount of liquid is displaced. That means it displaces equal to the volume. It is equal to the volume of the immersed portion of that particular substance. Okay. Now here, if you calculate this one also, see here, when you are immersing a substance or an object into a liquid, okay, whatever the immersed portion, okay, it displaces some amount of liquid which is equal to the volume of the immersed portion of the liquid. If it is completely immersed, then the liquid collected here will be equal to the complete volume of the substance, or otherwise, whatever the portion of the substance is immersed or the portion of the object is immersed. Okay, this much only immersed, no? So the collected water or the collected liquid will be equal to the volume of the immersed portion. Suppose, see, this much portion. So it is having particular volume, no? So the collected liquid will be equal to the immersed portion, volume of the immersed portion of that particular substance or that particular object. Okay. Now, so by this immersed portion, or this by immersing this one, okay, this object is losing particular amount of weight because of immersing into that particular liquid. So the reason for losing weight is buoyancy force. Reason for losing weight is buoyancy force. So how much it is losing means it is exactly equal to the weight of the liquid displaced. Okay. So weight loss equal to weight displaced. Weight loss equal to weight displaced. Weight lost by the object equal to the weight of the liquid collected, okay, in the collecting vessel. So by this, you have to get one concept first of all clear into your mind is, first what you understand is, okay, when an object is immersed partially or completely, okay, I'll divide it into again two. Okay, when an object is immersed partially into a liquid, partially means little amount only, see here, not completely. So that partially when it is immersed, so some volume of this object is increased, you know. So because of that, some amount of water is overflowing. Okay. Now that collected water, the amount of water collected or the volume of the water overflowed is equal to the volume of the immersed portion of that object. Is it clear up to this? Okay. Volume of the immersed portion of the object is equal to the volume of the immersed portion of the object. Okay. Now, because of the immersion, due to the immersion, okay, this object is losing certain weight. Okay, look here, I have given the values also. So because of immersion, the object was earlier, if it is 100 grams, after immersing little this portion, the object is weighing because the reading will be shown. That's why we are taking a spring balance and doing this experiment. So it is showing 90 grams only. How much weight is lost? The weight loss is equal to 100 minus 90, that is equal to 10 grams. So now if you weigh this liquid that is overflowed and if you weigh this one and see, you will find this is equal to this one. Okay, this is equal to this one. That means the weight lost by the object is equal to the weight collected, weight of the liquid collected. Okay, so up to that it is clear. Now come to this concept. Okay, so if you come to this concept, see here. So now here I have drawn this diagram where the object is completely immersed. Okay, right. So completely immersed means surely some amount of water also will overflow. Okay, so then what can you understand, or what is the statement we have, or what is the concept we have is, okay, when an object is partially or completely immersed into a liquid. So earlier I told partially, now I am saying completely. So if you dip the object completely into liquid, okay, it experiences a force. It experiences a force. That is also what force? That is an upward force. So it experiences an upward force called what force? We call it as buoyancy force. We call it as buoyancy. Buoyancy means nothing. It is upward force. The force which is pushing the object up. Okay. So that force. So buoyancy force, which is equal to the weight lost, because you see force and weight almost both are same. Okay. So the weight loss is due to the buoyancy. It experiences a buoyancy force which is equal to the weight lost by the object in the liquid. Okay. So if you divide this into parts, if you divide the concept into parts, so what can we get is, first of all, you are dipping the object into the particular liquid completely. So what happens? The first thing that is happens is it experiences a force. Then second one. So force means, as it is a vector, okay, you have to mention in which direction that force is happening or it is experiencing. So the force it is experiencing by whom? The object that has been dipped into that liquid. Okay. So here don't think that it is always water. Liquid could be anything, whether that could be any oil or kerosene or whatever, etc. Right. So second one is force that is experienced in which direction means it is in perpendicularly upward direction to the bottom surface of the object. Okay. So the object will have, see, suppose this is the object. This is upward portion. This is the bottom portion. Upward portion and the bottom portion. So to this bottom portion, okay. So this is perpendicularly upward direction. This is perpendicularly downward direction. Okay. So perpendicularly in the upward direction. So force in perpendicularly upward direction to the bottom surface of the object. Bottom surface of the object. So two concepts. So first of all, it has experienced a force. In what direction? Perpendicularly upward direction to the bottom surface of the object. Okay, two things clear. Then what is the name of the force? That is nothing but what we are calling it as buoyancy force. The name of the force is buoyancy force. So how much it is? Then of course, the experiencing a force, it is perpendicularly upward to the bottom surface of the object, and then that force is called as buoyancy. How much force? Means that force is equal to the weight lost by the object in the liquid. That means if you have sinked it completely, the object is losing some weight. Okay, losing some weight. So that weight loss is equal to the force experienced by that object, which is called as buoyancy force. So you can calculate that one if you take the two readings empty. That means its weight in air and the weight after immersing into the liquid. So first one minus second one, if you subtract, then you will get the amount of weight loss, and that is the magnitude of force that has experienced, or that is the magnitude of the buoyancy force the object has experienced after it got immersed into that liquid. Okay, ma? Understood? So this is the concept what you have to understand for what we are going to discuss the next topic. So before going to this, I'll tell you one small story. Okay, actually it is not a story, right? So this is a real incident that has happened in Greece. Okay, so Aristotle, you would have heard the name of, Archimedes, not Aristotle, Archimedes. Okay, So Archimedes was a great scientist. Okay, one day what happened is the king called this person. Okay, the king called whom? Archimedes, and he told him one small thing. Okay, so what was the thing is he belongs to the Greece, the nation called as Greece, you know, no? Okay, Greek. So the Greek king called this person and he told him one problem. So what was the problem is, okay, Mr. Archimedes, I have given an order to one of the goldsmiths to manufacture a crown for me. Okay, not for me, for the king. Okay, so that fellow has manufactured and given the crown to me, of course, but I have a doubt that that crown is diluted, or he, what to say that one, he cheated me by mixing something into that particular crown. So it is not a pure crown finally. So the problem, or the problem given by the king to Archimedes was to find out whether the crown manufactured by that goldsmith was pure one or not. Okay. So this is the problem given to Archimedes. So as Archimedes solved many problems during that time, so king called this person and then he told this one. Okay. So Archimedes heard that one and he told the king that he will solve it very soon. And when he comes with when he gets a solution, he comes and meets the king. Okay. Now you think how Archimedes would have solved that puzzle given by the king, which is related to our lesson. So by the time I rub the board, you try to guess what would have happened, how Archimedes would have come with a solution based on this concept. Okay, right. So let me rub the board. We will go to the next topic, that is the principle. Okay, students, you might have observed a common fact that suppose if you drop a metal piece, okay, a iron pin, suppose, iron pin into water, it will drown. But if you make that pin very flat, if you take a hammer and hit it completely and make it flat, and then if you drop that particular, what is that one? That pin which is flattened into water, then it will not sink. Okay, or if you make that edges little curved, and then if you leave it in water, and then the pin which was drowned in the earlier case, okay, in the next case, that means when you hammer it and make it into very flat, okay, make it into a just very flat, and then after bending, just raising its edges, and if you place it in water, then it will not sink. So could you find the reason for that one? That is actually the principle of making this water vehicles. What is that one? Boats and ships. Okay. So this is the principle followed actually in the manufacture of ships. Okay, think of that one. Right, now I'll write one statement here. Okay, so the next topic what we have is okay. Is it visible? Yes. Or to try to read this, if you don't understand, I will simplify this again. Okay. Okay, I'll try to simplify this. Okay. So among these two, whichever you feel easy, you can learn it. Okay. And try to understand both are same. See, when an object is partially or completely immersed, okay, this is already we discussed. Liquid, it experiences a force equal to the buoyancy force. Okay, it experiences a force of buoyancy or equal to the buoyancy force. I have separated the buoyancy force here. Okay, which is equal to, which means what here this buoyancy force is equal to, or the weight lost, which is equal to the immersed portion of the object. So here little bit it is not so clear, but if you see the statement, another statement here, this statement. So when an object is immersed into a liquid, it experiences an upward force of buoyancy. So I have combined here. So the force is called as buoyancy force, okay, which is equal to what? Immersed portion of the object. So try to understand this one very carefully. An object is immersed into a liquid, it experiences an upward force. So here, in the previous discussion, what we have discussed, the apparent loss. That means when an object is immersed into a liquid, what happens is the object appears as if it has actually it did not lose weight. Okay, it appears as if it has lost weight. So we call it as apparent loss. It is not the actual loss. Yes or no? Right. So that apparent loss of weight of the immersed stone or the immersed object is equal to the weight of the liquid displaced. Yes or no? So here, what you have to understand is when you are dipping a substance or immersing a object into a liquid, okay, so it appears as if it has lost weight. So this is very important. Okay, I did not tell this one. Okay, it appears. That means when you take again into air, you will get the same value. Okay, so when you are dipping into liquid, what is happening is as if it is losing weight. So that that means the object is okay, the apparent loss of the object. Okay, the apparent loss means what? The loss of weight due to immersion of that object into water. It is due to what force? It is due to buoyancy force. Okay, so this force, how to calculate this one? So this is equal to the weight of the liquid displaced. So this buoyancy force is equal to the weight of the liquid displaced. Now you come to this one. So when an object is immersed into a liquid, okay, it experiences an upward force of buoyancy, which is equal to the immersed portion of the object. Okay, so this principle we call it as Archimedes principle. Okay, so this principle we call it as Archimedes principle. So I told that king gave this person one puzzle, no? So okay, by this, okay, after reading this statement, I think you can get a hint about that what he have done, what he might have done. So after listening, he went to his house. Okay, daily he was doing his activities. Okay, so eating, bathing, reading, writing. So he was thinking 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. So nearly after 1 week, okay, when he went to bath, actually in Greece, what they do is they take bath in tub, bathtub we call it. Okay, so when he went into that tub, so automatically some water have overflown. Yes or no? Right. So immediately at the time he got some flash in his mind. So he got up from the tub and ran into the street by shouting, "Eureka! Eureka!" What is that? Eureka! He was shouting with this word by speaking this word. So what does this word mean? I found it. This word means in English is I found it. What did he find? He found the solution for the puzzle given by the king. So what was the solution? Okay. So very simply I'll try to demonstrate. Okay, listen carefully. So he went to the king's court and he told the king to bring the crown. Okay. So the king made him to bring the crown, and then what he did is he weighed the king would have given some amount of gold, suppose some 5 kg. Okay, king gave 5 kg gold to goldsmith. So the crown should be of what weight? So crown should be 5 kg. So now what Archimedes did is, okay, he brought, suppose you think it is 5 kg for time being, that could be of any weight. So only for easy understanding I am saying this one. So actually how much gold the king gave is 5 kg. Now the goldsmith should prepare a crown such that it should not be less than 5 kg. It should not be less than 5 kg. But some metals are mixed for strongness. So it should be little more than 5 kg only. So what did he do is, he took the empty weight, that means weight of the crown in the air. Okay, note it. Then he made that crown to dip into water completely. To dip into water completely, and through the overflow vessel like this, like what I have drawn in the earlier diagram. Okay, so suppose something like this. You think this is the crown. Okay, now it is water. Okay, so like this, you think that, okay, what did Archimedes do is he made that crown to dip into water and collect some, okay, collected that water. Right, next what? He told king to bring 5 kg of gold. So that also he dipped into this overflowing jar, and then he collected that water also. Now, if the crown was complete, if the crown was not diluted, the weights of these two, that means the weights of water collected by dipping the crown into water and 5 kg gold into water, both should be same. Finished. So when they weighed, the water collected by the, okay, water collected when the crown was dipped was less. Finished matter. So it was diluted. So this is how Archimedes solved that puzzle, and the king killed that fellow goldsmith. So this is how he treated without damaging the crown. Of course, the condition is what here? Without damaging the crown. This was the method how he could found that, okay, the crown was not completely made of pure gold. He has, okay, did some wrong thing in that one. Okay, students. So I hope that you have understood this concept. Okay, this one in detail we will discuss tomorrow. Thank you for listening. Have a good day. Bye.